Hello, you are tuning into SJSPR Radio. This is Senior Talk, the show where we pick seniors' brains about school life and real life. I'm your host, Natán Lago, and joining me for this episode is Juan Escribá.
Yo, it's good to be here. All right.
All right, well, let's just get right into it. One of the hottest topics, how was 11th grade online? One of the hardest years in school, high school.
It was rough. It's rough just because you don't really understand how much it means to actually sit down with your friends and just kind of spend some time in school until you don't really have it and
Yeah.
you're kind of stuck and
Exactly.
everything is just not the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of things I took for granted, like, class discussions, and, I get distracted at home way easier. You know what I'm saying? Then, another thing we could talk about is, we started college applications in this time.
That's true.
And we had to, really catch up in 12th grade first semester. We had a lot of work.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of a double-edged sword because, in a sense, it was really stressful and, because you took class for, 6 hours, you got off, and you had to be on your computer 4 more hours.
Yeah, exactly.
To do more online work, but at the same time, you also had a lot of spare time to do a lot of things you probably didn't have time to do when you were there. Pick up a new hobby or something, put into work on whatever you want, sports, etc.
Yeah, and since you mentioned sports, how was that? How was sports in the pandemic?
Well, the first couple of months, it was pretty difficult simply because you can't just go and play pickup with anybody.
Yeah.
They were COVID-ridden at the time, so you just really couldn't really do that. But after things calmed down, everybody started getting vaccinated. It was really nice just being able to, practice with your friends and play and just being able to be active again.
Yeah, for sure.
You were just stuck in the confines of your home for hours on end.
Yeah, and I'm sure you remember back in January 2021 when I got COVID. Even if I was asymptomatic, we all thought it was from playing basketball. You remember?
Yeah, that was definitely intense.
That was funny.
That was definitely intense because I was with you the entire time.
Yeah. And you got negative. Everyone got negative.
It
was insane.
I have a feeling it's a false positive because there's just no way.
I mean, I don't know, but
no, because you had the immunity.
Yeah. So and over the summer I went to Israel to see my mom's family, and I had to take a blood test that shows evidence of vaccination, and I got the antibodies for the normal ones. So
you had 20 million.
I had over 180.
Oh my gosh! People usually have what's a normal amount?
It was like depends on which vaccine you got, but sometimes 20.
You got 180, so something was wrong there.
Yeah, COVID was scared of me.
Scared of you, yeah. But definitely, with the pandemic, I got into sports a lot.
Yeah.
I would always kind of say I was into basketball, for example, but I would never really put in the work. Just kind of had it as a hobby. But then the pandemic got me really bored of video games. I remember I used to always come back home and you get on 2K or Modern Warfare, whatever you got into, Warzone, whatever. But we played so many video games that everybody just got tired of it.
Yeah, no, and I had a PlayStation. Everyone here has Xbox, but I had a PlayStation, and I used to use it a lot at the beginning, but I started growing out of it, and now it's in my brother's room. I don't even have it anymore. I barely play anymore.
I mean,
we just do more things in life, more productive things. We just matured.
You get more done, but it was shocking to me because my life used to be out of school on Xbox, play with the boys, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of play so much you get sick of it. And you could see it all on social media. Everybody was saying I play so many video games, I hate them now.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything changed.
No, how do you think now this year as seniors we're back in person, how did that all feel at the beginning, back in August, September? How did that all feel?
When it was hybrid, it was really weird, especially because you're not used to seeing those teachers. You never really met them. I mean, personally, I came into the school in 10th grade.
Yeah,
so everybody knows the teachers. They know this and that about them. This teacher's really cool, whatever. I didn't know anything.
Yeah, you had 8 months, and then we went into quarantine.
One of my teachers, Nieves, he actually he calls me El Pequeño because through the camera he thought I was 5'4". And so I showed to hybrid class and I was 6'1", and he's like, "Nah, that's not you." So it's kind of weird for both teachers and students to see their superiors.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa,
exactly.
this is you. this is you.
Yeah, no, and the other thing, you remember Colin Sacco from last year?
Yeah.
He's tall. Like, I was not expecting that.
He wasn't tall. He was like...
No, but like taller. I thought he was a lot shorter.
I thought he was really short. How tall was he? Like 5'10"?
5'10", yeah. He was a lot taller than I thought.
Yeah, he was chill though. He was chill. I think his
he's working in Baldwin now.
Yeah, he's working in Baldwin.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going. Anyways.
Nah, but and then with the college applications, we had those deadlines in October, November.
I think that was actually, it wasn't as stressful simply because I feel like a lot of teachers definitely understood.
Yeah.
Like they kind of like if we were going through a really 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 stressful day, applications were coming up, they wouldn't go as hard on us specifically for that reason, because I know I bet in specific instances, maybe previous years, who knows, different schools, teachers wouldn't care.
Exactly.
But here, teachers kind of like really put that in mind, and it's different in a good way.
For sure.
Like genuinely, like I'm not just saying that to say, like, you could see that it's more than just a class. Like you can actually have a conversation with the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you get to know them, which is cool.
Yeah. No, and I mean, you can compare like this summer to last year. Like, we went together to Oxford in the camp.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
That was crazy. The way that it was set up in Oxford was as follows. So me and Natán actually went to the UK together. We quarantined together. In London.
Yeah.
And so we show up to the camp and they tell us, like, our biggest rule is if you go into another student's room, you're automatically expelled.
Yeah, that was insane.
So we were like, whoa. Like, I literally quarantined with this dude for, like, 2 weeks? Yeah. I mean, if he has COVID, I have COVID.
Exactly.
They did not care. But it was definitely a really cool experience.
Made a lot of friends.
Yeah,
for sure. Brent, you remember?
Brent. Yeah, Brent. And then there was that song, Blue Notes.
Oh, yeah.
Meek Mill. Yeah, Meek Mill. One of our counselors actually showed us that.
Yeah. And I remember the last night we ended up, it was like, it's our last night, we ended up going in the same room.
Yeah.
It was just to talk and stuff. But it was nice.
Yeah, I think we just exposed ourselves. But
yeah, I mean, okay. It was the last day.
It's
like,
the last day.
Whatever.
Quarantine, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. I mean, I know a lot of things happened during the summer. People definitely picked up a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
Like our friends, our entire, I'd say like entire group picked up a hobby you wouldn't expect. I mean, looking at Seba, like, he was a football player. I remember looking at the way he played, and everybody
shoot with 2 hands.
He would shoot with 2 hands. He didn't know what he was doing. Put in the reps, put in the minutes, and he caught us all by surprise. I'd say he's one of the best shooters in St. John's.
Yeah.
Anybody can try to debate me on that. I don't care. Like, come at me. Sorry.
Yeah.
He is definitely one of the best shooters now. Put in the work. He had that time
for sure
because of the pandemic, and look at him now.
Yeah.
He's in the team.
No, he's not the only one. I mean, we could look at like Santi.
Oh yeah,
he's
definitely.
always doing shit like
Yes.
And what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you did most of your school's regular decision, but for me in like October, like I really had to work, like, cause I was a little behind, cause 11th grade, that second semester was hard, like.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can imagine.
And I had to really like kind of recover that and get all my applications out by October, but I did most regular, so I'm hoping now March, April.
It was kind of awkward because like, I wasn't doing anything.
Everyone else was like.
And I was just there like everybody's like, so stressful, so stressful. I was like, couldn't be me.
Whatever.
Couldn't be me. I got everything done already.
Yeah, no, we're done with that. Now we're chilling.
Yeah. The occasional college will hit you up saying like, oh, we're missing this and that.
Yeah.
Pretty easy fixes, but right now it's just kind of putting in that last drop of effort.
And I just think right now, we don't have college, and we're all kind of focused on like our friends.
Yeah.
And like really making the best of this time. Like, I was like, we don't really think about it, but really soon we're all gonna go our own ways. It's like something we try not to think about it, but at the same time we gotta think it's not too far from now.
And it's really crazy to think about, like, it to me, 11th grade, the pandemic was a blur.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you in 10th grade. I didn't even know who you were.
No, actually, something we could talk about, like, how was joining St. John's? How did that go?
Dang. Okay, so before coming into St. John's, I knew, from our grade, I knew 2 people. I knew Matthew at the time. And then I knew Viviana, because Viviana is...
Her dad.
Like, her mom is my godmother.
Yeah.
So I basically known her my entire life. But I knew Matthew. I had met him at a Save the Turtles kind of event because he's really big there.
Right?
Yeah, he's one of the leaders of Siedekiyas, really big there. So I met him, and he was really cool. So coming in to St. John's, I was kind of hoping to have him there that first day.
He wasn't even there.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there. I think the first people I met were Stanley and Steven.
Yeah.
Steven just came up to me and he was like, "I'm really good at basketball, man." And I was like, "Yeah, that's great." Stanley.
And volleyball.
Yeah, volleyball too.
Yeah.
That's usually his line when he meets new friends.
Yeah. And then what do you think was like the biggest challenge, like when you first came? Because I could tell when I first came in 9th grade as well.
Biggest challenge definitely has to be like the classes I picked. I picked this
Euro.
Yeah, man.
Del Toro.
It was a rude awakening. I'm not gonna lie to you when I say that. I was definitely like very irresponsible, and like that definitely reflected on, kind of like the things I used to do in my old school, but it just wasn't cutting it.
Exactly.
And like
it's a little harder, it's more challenging.
A little? No, bro. No, it was way harder.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a really good life lesson. Just kind of like it was a reality check to the fact that that won't slide. Like I'm not a kid anymore. I gotta get my act up, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
What
I
about
think
you?
like particularly like Del Toro, since I'm talking about you, I think she's a great teacher, and like I still remember a lot of the history she taught us.
I would do really bad on tests, but I can't deny the fact that I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Like I can still remember a lot of the talks she gave us in regards to the French Revolution, Robespierre, etc.
Yeah.
So she definitely did do her job very well.
Yeah. No, for me, I would say in 9th grade, I moved here in 9th grade, like beginning of high school. It was a really sudden change because, my whole life I was my old school back in Ponce. Everyone knows me because of that.
Yeah.
I was in Ponce, and it was just kind of like random. Like I go to Israel to see my mom's family, like I mentioned earlier, and I come back, and my aunt just, she texts my dad. She's like, "Oh, the art teacher just left." I was like, "Oh my God!" And then he's like, "Your mom?" Like my mom.
Yeah. Next thing you know,
and it was like boom. Not even a week later. I think like 3 days later, she goes to San Juan, does an interview. Boom, accepted.
Wow.
We had to find an apartment in a week. We looked at 3, and the one we're living in was one of them. Picked an apartment. We literally only took the necessities, like some dishes, some clothes.
Yeah.
We left the rest back at the old house, and throughout the year we were moving our stuff, and like that was really stressful because like we'd have to go to Ponce on the weekends and like all that stuff. And then in spring break in April 2019 we sold the house, and I was kind of like solidified myself here in San Juan.
Nah, it must have been crazy.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge was like socially, like
right.
Because like to me, I was in my school from kinder to 8th grade my whole life, and all of a sudden it's like boom, new people, new friends. It's like this crazy new teachers. It was insane. So it was like, at first it was a little hard, but like I kind of got used to it.
Like it's completely new lifestyle in like a week.
And some of you mentioned I started playing basketball, and me and Steven were the only freshmen on the junior varsity team, and then I kind of got to know him through there. And I also did soccer that year. I remember. I'm sure some of like Diego and Jonah, they could probably remember me playing that 1 year in soccer. But yeah.
Goalie, right? You were goalie.
Yeah. Well, no, I played goalie back in Ponce, but I played defense here because they already had like 3 goalies. I'm like, they don't need another one. They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
No, but that was definitely one of the biggest challenges, and it was a lot better. Like with time, I got to know my friends and stuff. And then 10th grade, it's like, oh, boom, I got my friends. I know my teachers. And all of a sudden, pandemic hits. I'm like, oh my God, also another big change. What I'm saying? Everything it just keeps happening.
No,
and I just think like something I can ask you as well. Like why did you move? I mean, for me, it was honestly, I just think to give me more opportunities because my old school was a great school, but I feel like St. John's definitely provides a lot of opportunities for our future. And like, what do you think? Like, what do you think you moved here?
Well, I mean, I got a couple of reasons. Well, initially, I was going through a lot, like mentally at the time. I had gone to therapy a couple of times in those previous years.
Yeah.
And it just really wasn't working. And the way I thought about it was like, yeah, like Barbetta's a really good school, and I do have my friends. But there's always some bad apples in whatever school you go to, and those bad apples happen to be coming a little bit after me, you know? And it's just like, I didn't want to deal with it at the time. Definitely looking back, I could have figured it out. But, at that age, you're not really thinking rationally. You're just thinking, like, I want to leave.
You think it was the right move to come to St. John's?
Generally, yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, my aspect on life completely changed the way I think, because
you
surround yourself around completely different people from completely different like lives, like the way they live is completely different from anything I'd ever seen. So seeing how they responded to situations in life and how they acted really like opened the horizons, and it really helped me get through like whatever problems I was facing at the time. So
no, for sure. Like, I think one of the biggest things I remember from St. John's was everyone was really accepting. Like,
yes, definitely.
like, you know, I felt like, oh, maybe I'd be left out. And, like I said, it was hard. But, like, at the same time, it was a lot easier. Because, like, a lot of people kind of helped me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made friends. And it was a lot more, like, relaxed. And it definitely made my freshman year a little easier than, you know, especially after moving so suddenly. Like, literally, all my friends, you know, on the list, my name was still on the list on my old school. It was, like, literally a week.
Wow.
Like, boom, like we moved just like that. And I still go, you know, sometimes to Ponce, catch up with my friends, like my close ones.
Yeah.
And I went, you know, in winter break, saw a couple of my friends, and you know, it's still like old times, you know, but it's all good. And I got my friends here, so you know,
but like,
it's good.
Do you think that was the best decision for you? Do you think you would have preferred to stay in Ponce and just like finish your senior year there, or do you think this was the move, like coming here?
Honestly, back in 9th grade, I was completely against the move because I was always really scared of change. Like, just change in general. Because, like I was telling you, I pretty much had my whole life set up. Like, I had friends, I had sports, I had teachers who knew me. Like, everyone knew me. And all of a sudden, that was gone. Like, and it was, like, you know, a lot of change. And I was always scared of change. But I was like, you know what? Like, I started to learn with time that change is actually, like, a lot of times for the better. And I definitely think moving here, you know, I look back at my old school, and I think, like, this was definitely the right move. Like, to move here, like, the people I've met, the teachers, the opportunities I've had, like, it was definitely, like, for the better. And there's a lot of things I like about the school.
But, like, you know, it's, like, a lot of respect to you because, you know, for example, like, I moved from Miramar to Condal. You know? Like, I lived...
No, Condal, I used to live in a neighborhood, and then I'm booming in a city now. It was like...
Whoa. Nah, not just that. It's like, I live right next door. I could still go see my friends. You were completely new. Like, you didn't know anyone.
But then, I also thought, like, you know... At the same time, Ponce isn't too far. It's like, I want to say an hour and a half. But like, it's still, but like...
That's a hot minute without a car.
Yeah, exactly. But like, think about like people who move like to the U.S. Whole different story. Like, you know, that's a whole flight you got to take to come see your old friends. You know, that's a lot harder. You know, especially, you know, completely new environment, you know, so. That's also something I considered, you know, I was like, it's a really big change and, you know, I'll make the best of it. I'll see my friends every once in a while, but I can build a community here in San Juan, and it turned out to be like a really good change, I think, for sure.
Honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but like I tried really hard to keep the same level of connection and friendship I had with my old friends.
For sure.
But I'm gonna be real with you, like it's not. Like
it's a little hard.
Yeah,
but
like, as much as you want to think that it's the same, it's not, because they see each other every day in school. You know, they have those inside jokes, those things. You know, they go eat after school, and like at first you really try to keep that connection the same, but at some point it's kind of like, yes, you're still definitely friends, but it's hard.
Yeah, but something I do appreciate, like you do bring up a good point, and also like back this summer I went to Palmas. Some of my friends who I hadn't seen in like 2 to 3 years, like some of my Ponce friends, and something that was really nice is like with friends like that, you know, you could just talk to them as if it was like just the other day. It's like I talked to them like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" Like we just caught up. It was like I just saw them the other day. That's like what it felt like, even though it'd been almost 3 years. Like, you know, this was a couple months ago, and I hadn't seen them since 8th grade. Like, you know, a long time.
Wow.
A lot of them.
You didn't even graduate with them, right? Because
I did the moving up like ceremony.
Oh, you did? You did? That was in Ponce? Okay.
No, and then it also brings me back to like this year. Like at the end 11th, we had a lot of parties, and like this ring ceremony. We had, you know, seniors. We were like going. And I think that was a good mental like break, I would say, especially after the year we had as 11th graders online and all that. And then we had all those like the ring ceremony. We had all those like class events, and that was like a really nice. I think,
that really helped me kind of open up
and like bond with the class.
Yeah, because I used to be very quiet. I used to be very socially anxious. Like I would, you know, like I guess like you know, you're a little kid. You're thinking like, oh, everybody's looking at me. Everybody's thinking about me. Reality is they don't care. they're doing their own thing. They got things to do, places to be, and they definitely don't care about what Juan Carlos Escribá is doing or thinking about.
Yeah.
And that was something that really helped, like it is realizing that everybody's got their own thing to do and they don't care enough about other people's lives and to judge you.
Yeah, for sure.
Just chill.
Yeah. But I definitely think, like, as a class, we've grown a lot closer. And, like, I look at other classes, and, like, the one thing that I do, like, think about from my old school was it was a little divided. Like, there was kind of groups. Like, there was, like, quote-unquote, like, popular kids. And there was, like, the ones who would, like, like, there was always groups. And, like, and even though it wasn't as bad as, like, I've seen in some other schools, SJS is a lot more inclusive. Like, they definitely accept you a lot more, like, to, you know what I'm saying?
SJS is, like, the craziest environment I've ever seen. Because it's kind of like, they're really, like, okay, it's impossible to not have groups. Everybody has a group. We have a group. But the thing is, like,
as a class,
I can go up to anybody
exactly,
and have, like, a chill conversation.
No, but, like, everyone has their friends and people they're closer to. That's, like, your group. But, like, at the same time, I can talk to someone, just someone in my class, and it's like, oh, what's up? Like, it's no problem. Like, I can talk to literally anyone in our class, and I don't feel, like, uncomfortable or weird. It's like, that's why we're so, like, close to the class. I think that's one of the best things of the school and just of our grade in general.
Not just that, it's that, like, there aren't really any bullies. Like, it's because something that caught me by surprise was that, like, the schools in the States, like, there's, like bullies off of movies there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking, like dunk your head in a toilet kind of thing.
Nah,
like,
insane.
Things you think only happen in movies, they happen.
Yeah,
but they don't happen here. Like, I haven't heard a single case of that here.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I mean, nothing's foolproof. Like, it might happen, but, like, compared to, I think as a whole, like, if you look at it, like, generally, SJS is, like, really inclusive and, like, really doing well in that sense.
No,
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
And us as, like, students who came from other schools, we'd be the first to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So,
like, it was definitely an upgrade on a lot of aspects. Obviously, like, I was in Perpetual from kindergarten to ninth grade.
Yeah.
So it's still
same
thing that
for
soft
me,
spot for it. Like, all your memories are there, all your teachers. My sister actually graduated from Perpetual. She was president of the class, so it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
My mom didn't even want me to leave
at first.
Yeah, because it was kind of like, it was a school that my sister grew up in.
Yeah.
She made all of her friends. My mom was friends with my sister's friends, moms.
Yeah.
So, but it was definitely the best decision.
And I think that it goes off the same thing, that change can definitely be really scary.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're all about to go through some pretty big changes in our life.
Living alone.
Yeah, like living alone, living, in the U.S., living in random places. And, yeah, I mean, it is definitely something huge. And
yeah, that is something interesting that I noticed here. It's a lot of people, people live alone.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are living the low-key college experience here, So that's...
Yeah. So that's something I've noticed. Like, there's some people who are already, like, almost, like, moving into that reality. And but what would you say is, like, the number one thing you're looking forward to, like, in the future? Like, something you, like, really... Like,
after I leave SJS?
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like high school definitely takes you through that, like, through that progress, that build up to actually do something with your life, not just to stick your head in a book and learn everything, to get something done. Because something a lot of people, like, don't realize is, yes, you got those A's, but after you get those A's, you have to get up and go do something about it. Do something with the experience you have, get a job, an internship, whatever you can do. You know what I'm saying? Just be productive.
For sure.
What do you have?
The number one thing I'd be looking forward to, I haven't really made up my mind on that yet, but it would be nice to live in a different climate, like, just in general, because, like, a lot of the places I applied to, it'd probably snow, and, like, I just want to try something different. Like, I've lived in a tropical island, and I love it. I love having the beach nearby, and I'm still living kind of close to the coast, but I would definitely say, like, kind of doing it on my own, because, like my parents definitely taught me to be independent, but at the same time, there's, like, very minimal things that maybe they'd remind me or like, tell me, but, like, they're not there anymore. I gotta, do it myself, remind myself. And there's a lot, like, as far as, like, you know, time management and, you know, all that, you got to do it yourself.
That's true.
Your classes, like, let's say you want to go to the gym, or a team, or a club, you got to, like, manage all that.
You know what I think is a big one?
What?
It's, like, food.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so you could get food here for, what, $5? You're solid. We come from an island that nos gusta el arroz con habichuela, el pollo empanado. You're not gonna get that over there. No, bro. You getting some burgers. Some burgers every day. You know? Yes, so
pizzas.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like
ramen. Ramen's gonna be clutch.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be pretty clutch. But you know, you're gonna have to cook. Yeah. You know, you're gonna have to keep your kitchen clean. You're gonna have to budget.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all yourself.
You don't have unlimited funds, bro.
One of the craziest, like, now that you're saying budget, like money, like managing my own money, like financing. Oh, that's
Lord,
that's crazy.
Lord have mercy on our budget souls.
Yeah. That's gonna be definitely something.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've seen like a lot of my family members struggle with.
Yeah.
At first, is they don't really realize like, okay, you get what $400, $500 for a month, and you're like, dang, that's $500. $500 for food, everything you need from the groceries,
the bills,
you know, hygiene, the bill.
And if you're paying rent,
you're done. You're done. No, but like cooking is definitely gonna be a big one.
Yeah. I definitely like. I learned a little bit from my mom, but like I'd like to learn a few more things I could take with me.
You can't buy like, just like the good rice here.
No, and my brother loves cooking, and he's like in 8th grade. He loves cooking. I don't know if he'd do it as like a job, but like definitely he really enjoys it, and I'm sure
he's lucky. He's got a head start.
Exactly, 8th grade, like really early.
On a real note, you know, what are you planning to study?
Well, I've been looking at bioengineering, cause you know, that camp we were talking about, the Oxford camp. At first I was kind of like looking at like biology and marine biology and just like water related, and I did that camp and I loved everything about like engineering. And I was like, wow, like I liked it more than I thought I would. And I was like, you know what? Let's just combine the two, biology, engineering.
Okay.
Quite literally, and particularly I like the water and like sustainable systems, particularly water, because you know water is something.
You know what?
Important.
That's like major in my opinion. You know, look at the world, everything that's going on. Like we need new renewable sources of energy, of water for people, because, you know, that's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's something big, and that's definitely something that's going to be needed in the future. So you're kind of like hitting the sweet spot.
Exactly. What do you want to? I mean, you told me to think business.
Pretty generic. Yeah. I was looking at cause, you know, somebody brought a good point to me the other day, and it was kind of like everybody that doesn't know what they're doing in the field of business just says finance. Oh, what are you gonna do? Finance. Okay, what about finance? Oh, I don't know. You know, go ask someone that wants to study business. Oh, finance. What about it? I have no idea. Yeah. Well, definitely, I'm gonna go into like an undecided business major. I've always really liked real estate, you know, long-term equity, those kinds of things, like really interest me.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't really tell you what I'm going into, because if I did, I'd be lying.
No, and something you know that I think about a lot is like people, a lot of us expect to go into college knowing what we want to do for the rest of our lives. Like, no, like, you know, let's say I don't like engineering at all. Like, I was like, oh, maybe I had a little spark, but gone. I could completely change. What if I do music? Por decir algo, like, completely switch. But like, you know, my dad has a friend. He started studying like, I think it was engineering, and he ended up just doing psychology, completely different. And now he loves his job. Like, he loves what he does. And I just think that's more important. Like, I don't want to be stuck in a job that I don't like. Like, I want to do something I enjoy. Like, I want to go to my job and be like, this is good. Like, I like this.
That is true. But you know what I'm saying? I have to tell you, like, money isn't everything, and I agree. But I rather
I'd rather
have it than not have it.
Yeah, you that's true. You gotta consider the money for sure.
Definitely.
But at the same time, if you could find something
that suits both worlds.
Exacto.
Yeah. You know, something that I'm thinking about also is approaching, you know, pre-law, studying law. Maybe. Just because it's just very versatile, you know, especially in the business industry, you know, corporate lawyers, etc. If it can suit both my worlds in regards to making the type of income I would wish to earn with something I enjoy doing, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. Right now though, like as far as like senior year, I'll can focus on that a little later.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just kind of chilling, like
Yeah, me
you know,
too.
I'm enjoying the year, kind of keeping my grades sustained, like doing well and stuff, and
Yeah. You know, like if your grades aren't like where they need to be at, if your grades aren't where they need to be at, college could drop you.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, they could revoke it. Yeah,
they could revoke it. So that's big. Like,
and you know, speaking of that, what do you think is something like advice you'd give to younger children as far as like, just in general?
You know what? Best advice I can give you is don't overthink it. You know, I used to live my entire life overthinking everything. What if? If you're thinking about what if, you're never gonna get anything done.
Yeah.
All right. Not everything is as bad and scary as it seems. It might be new, it might be different, yeah, but you just gotta do it. Keep your mind in blank and just do it.
Exactly.
And it'll work out.
Yeah, for me, I would say like something I would definitely emphasize is like a balance, cause like I see some people who regret. Like I've seen a lot of people who really regret like putting all their work into their study, like into school, but like they don't really build those friendships.
Or the
and
opposite.
like, or it's like they're the opposite. Like they do a little too much. Like you know, they have great friends, great social life, but at the same time, their grades aren't doing so well. And I think that balance is really important, and being taught how to balance life, because it's not easy. Like you know, getting good grades and also like, but like I don't know, play basketball and also go to like I don't know a birthday or party or something with your friends. Yeah. You really gotta like balance all that. But like if you can really achieve that, like I feel like you really get a great experience out of high school. And just overall, like, just that balance. Like, you got to make sure... Like, I think everything in balance or, like, in moderation is good.
Very solid point that you bring to the table, definitely. Yeah. You know, that point of balance can be said about anything. You know? You drink too much water, that's bad for you. You do too much of anything or too little of something, which is initially good. Yeah. It's not going to be good for you. So just, like, try to really think of things before. Is what I'm doing the right move? Am I doing this in excess? Am I not? Should I be studying more? Should I be socializing more? Just put that into play and you'll be fine. Yeah,
and then there's, like, things like that you don't want to regret. Like, you don't want to, like, finish high school and have a lot of regrets of, like, things you wish you would have done. Yeah. So, like, you know, you just got to consider all those things. Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I mean... That's pretty much it. That's about it for now. But before we go, I want to thank Juanqui for being here with me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everything. No and for SJSPR Radio and Senior Talk, this is Natán Lago. Until next time. Peace.